Yes, the OBS was not. I was like, there's not many people in our chat at the moment.
Sorry, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
The second time that's happened. Hi, Steve.
Evo.
We've got an hour and a half with no sound balls.
So, yes, if they heard that I had said this, then I would probably be killed by some kind of machine. No doubt.
What is the king's name?
Hogar, Steel Shadow,
It's a mouthful.
the fourth, if you want to be precise.
And which could you identify any clans in particular that are unhappy with the way the king has treated them? Any clans that have influence that you're particularly concerned about?
Yes, Clan Ironhead used to be the main producer of weapons for the Stone Guard and the king. But yeah, effectively, the king wrote a decree and completely cut them off. The business was given to someone else. So it is Clan Ironhead. So perhaps, but I think they are effectively banned from making weapons. If you think it is of importance, the leader of Clan Ironhead is Thangas Ironhead. He is an elderly dwarf, but I find it hard to believe he would take revenge on other Durgar, but dismiss no theory.
And the stone giant with two heads, have you spoken to any of their friends, family? Do you know how that came to be?
I have not. The leader of the stone giants is Stonekeeper Hagram. If you... Well, I don't know how they would feel about the fact that you killed one of their brothers, but they are usually reasonable. The Stonekeeper is very wise. Sorry, Stone Speaker. Still getting used to speaking inside my head. Oh, I can't spell. Screw it. It's not my first language. If you accept the job, then I will give you these badges. One for each of you. This is the emblem of the Stone Guard. These are specific badges that are issued by me, so please do not abuse it, but it should, if you get stopped, allow you past any outpost and any guards. It should also help you speak with people.
Thank you.
And she passes out a little emblem, and you can effectively see it's like it's a silver disc, and engraved in it is basically a skull with two crossed axes behind it. And she hands one to each of you.
Is this symbol, does it represent you or the Stone Guard?
It represents the Stone Guard.
Oh, sorry.
No, please.
Rain looks very uncomfortable holding this, considering she's like wanted from the law.
Yeah.
appreciate the iron for a second.
She sort of looks across at you, Rain, and sees that you're examining it and a little bit uncertain, certainly.
It is a great honor, yes. I bet you never expected to be representing the Stone Guard.
No, definitely not. No, this was yeah, it's none of my plans. It's a great honor, indeed.
Good. Well, I am very happy that you are all willing to help. Is there anything else you need? Any other
I have more
questions?
questions. Who was murdered?
Who was murdered?
You said there were
What?
murders and no clues, but a single empty red scabbard.
Oh, well, yes. The various traders have been killed in the dock area. I don't have the names to hand, but there's been, I think, 3 in the last month. And at each scene, a single red empty scabbard is left.
Of what size?
The size of a short sword. I don't know if that's relevant, but as for the giant that you fought, his name was Rahud. I know that much. It surprised me to hear of his attack. He was a gentle soul. He made leather work and clothing. He was not an aggressive giant.
These murders take place at... Is there a pattern? Do they take place at a particular time? Day?
It's hard to say. The bodies have been found at different times. Some in the Blade Bazaar, some on the docks. The last one indeed was by the docks. The quiet end with the cabins, which is less traffic there, less foreigners, less Durgar. But we don't know what times.
Do you still have the bodies in your possession?
No, they have been cremated.
Does it look like their deaths were caused by short sword wounds?
Yes, they all had slashing and piercing wounds.
Anything else of note?
Well, no witnesses, I think perhaps the only... I know that the last person at the docks worked for Wers, I believe, an importer.
Quick question. What was the red scabbard made of?
Leather as far as I'm aware. Lizard hide, probably.
Is that a common colour for this area?
No, not really. We dwarves do not care for unnecessary adornment. It is a waste of productive effort.
You still have the scabbards in your possession?
Yes?
I wonder, and I'll look to Malice and Rain, if it's worth us, for one of the first things we do, stopping by the guardhouse and taking a look at these scabbards, maybe speaking to the prisoner who was selling their belongings.
It seems like a good idea. I think the prisoner could probably tell us more than we currently know.
You want to speak with the prisoner? That may be short of time. They will be executed in the morning.
Oh, let's go now then.
Well, they may be, unless we can prove they were under the influence, they have still committed a crime. They have devalued the produce of Grackstugh by selling it below cost, and yes, unfortunately, that is a severe crime.
Where are they being held?
Well, I can take you. If you wish to go, we can go now. I don't know how much use they will be, but is the Overlake Hold is where the Stone God base is. It is close, just to the sort of northeast of here.
Well, we should finish up here. We don't want to draw too much attention to ourselves, so let's finish our meal.
Well, I think we're going to look very weird that we're all sat here in silence looking at each other. That kind of feels a bit
why you
strange.
should continue to eat.
Okay. It's good fish. Well, I have confidence in you already. You've asked many insightful questions.
No, that's one more, or I'll forget.
Please ask as many as you need.
Do you have anyone in particular you suspect to be taking bribes?
No. I have heard that someone on the outer gates have been taking bribes.
Letting in people they shouldn't, perhaps?
Perhaps, yes.
What sort
And
of activity would not be allowed into the city?
Well, anyone not coming on legitimate business would not be let through. People have to demonstrate why they are coming here. I also have a suspicion that there are some smuggling operations in the docks area. I don't know if that is linked to the murders, but it could be. But we do have occasional contraband making its way here. I did find a flask of liquid, which I believe when the glass is broken it will burst into flames which cannot be extinguished till the fuel is burned away. This
Where
is
was
not
this
a
found?
produce. Again, it was found near the body of one of the murdered people. I don't believe that's the product I've ever seen made here.
He's got a thinking face on.
I've got a little map in my head and I'm drawing lines between pictures.
So if we go talk to the detainee now, and then in the morning, once we have collected the items that we have commissioned, we can set off maybe to speak to the stone giants and visit their library.
I wonder if it's worth us taking... We're staying in the docks. Oh wait, no, we're staying in here. Did we say we're staying here? Did we pay for rooms?
I think we have.
Damn it!
I remember. Yeah, I remember the discussion.
I was going to say maybe we should do a watch on the boats, see if we see any activity in the docks overnight.
We could ask the rest of the crew to do so.
Yes, but how will they get a message to us if they see something? I mean, they'll walk, but by then any activity will be over. Maybe we should be staying on the boat.
Are you expecting to respond to the activity or just witness?
Well,
We need to be careful about what we take part in.
You are authorized deputies of the Stone Guard now.
we could intervene, save someone's life, potentially.
You're authorized to do such things in defense of the city and of its citizens, yes.
But that is only if we are found by the city to be acting with the right reasons. Whether we actually have or not doesn't particularly matter to them. It's whether they find that to be the case. We need to be careful. We cannot take undue risks.
I agree. Keep our identities covered as best we can, and only intervene if we have absolute proof we needed to intervene.
And if it can be made very clear that we had no other option.
Should we focus on capturing them rather than killing them?
Yes.
Okay, so just ask Eldif and the others to keep a watch there, and we'll stay here. I don't know what the cancellation policy is on the rooms here, and I don't want to get in trouble for that before we've even begun.
If you wish me to leave you, I can still hear you in my head, so should I go and let you discuss?
Oh no, let's if you could take us to the guardhouse, we'll work this out when it comes to bedtime.
Very well, very well. Everyone finished their food? It appears so. Are you going to eat the rest of that?
And you see her sort of leaning forward because you've not eaten very much fish because it's very big.
Oh, I'll have just ordered one and then taken a little, like the head, and Derendil has the rest.
Okay, no, are you going to eat the head?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
She gets up and, well, follow me. And she leads you out of the tavern up to the northeast towards the shore. You see a huge, squat building. The ground floor just seems to have open stone windows, no glass in them. The second floor, you can see all the windows are barred with a crisscross of dark iron metal bars. Some of them have got little faces at them, but most of them are just empty. There's no light inside the top floor, so all the cells seem to be in darkness. She leads you in, like quite a beautiful marble floor with the emblem of the skull with no jawbone and two crossed axes behind it in a huge mosaic on the floor. It's not beautiful, but it's quite a strong symbol. She leads you through. There's a number of stone guards in there, probably only 3 or 4 that you spot, but again you hear that telltale, you hear someone like do a little cough, and you hear the scraping of a boot and the jingle of chainmail from places where no one is stood. Makes you suspect there's more dwarves here than you can see. And she leads you up a spiral staircase and then down a dark stone corridor with barred doors all the way along, almost as far as the eye could see. This corridor is huge. She leads you right down to the bottom. There's no lights in here. There's no candles. There's no lanterns. So those of you without dark vision, it's very hard going. You almost have to lean on someone who can see. And she finally gets to the last gate and gestures.
Here is the vendor.
And you look in the room. You've got your goggles, haven't you? That you're using your goggles, Tink.
Can do, yeah.
Yeah, so you get 2 hours, two charges of 1 hour per day. So you use one of those, put the goggles on, and there's a sort of little flickering in your vision, and suddenly everything comes in black and white, in monotone. You can see this dwarf sat in the back of this cell. He is he's kind of hunched up, sat on the floor with his arms around his knees. He's just mumbling away to himself. Doesn't seem to have noticed you. You can see actually as you look for a bit longer that he seems to have actually like pulled some of his hair out. Clearly quite distressed. Bits of his beard are patchy. Again, where it's almost like you can see little patches of hair on the floor where he seems to have pulled out, his facial hair, which would take quite some effort to do.
How
Doesn't
long
know.
Sorry.
He doesn't notice you there. He doesn't react. He's just muttering to himself.
How long does the stall thing last? Can we still?
So it's 1 hour, but he has 3 spurts of it, so we can continue it for a while if need be.
As long as he stays with you and you all stay connected. I think as soon as you go beyond 30 feet of each other, it kind of disconnects.
Oh, so we can still talk quietly and not potentially get his attention.
We don't even know his name. We've got nothing out of him. He was just giving away product. He said he needed to clear his stock, leave the city.
What sort of stock did he have?
Swords, knives, maces, polearms. He said people were going to need them, apparently, and that selling them cheaply was a kindness before he left.
I have quite small ears. Can any of you hear what he's mumbling?
Can I try and hear what he's mumbling?
Yeah, roll a perception for me.
Oh, 10.
Yeah, it's really hard to make out. It's just he's mumbling under his breath. He's it doesn't sound like coherent sentences. It's almost like disjointed words and such. But with 10, it's so quiet in here. It's weirdly quiet. You would not expect a prison to sound so silent. His voice is all you hear. You hear the odd word. You hear rising. You hear depths.
Was that depths or depth?
Depths.
That did not help. Depth as in water depth or
Yeah.
Yeah. Depths. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
English is a terrible language.
It is.
Depths or depth?
But it's hard to make out.
Watching him, the action seems strange. Like, is there any way that I can tell whether he might be under the influence of some kind of spell?
Yeah, you can roll Arcana or Medicine. Arcana's probably best if you want to tell if it's a spell. Medicine if you want to tell if it's natural.
Does Drayden have a detect magic?
And I
Actually,
will
no.
guidance myself.
I
And
have
then-
it sometimes. Not today.
I have a protection from evil and good if he's possessed by something, but I would need to touch him.
I have no idea.
I mean, Malice, with that roll, he's clearly distressed. It's very hard to tell if he's just had a very traumatic experience, or if he's under the influence of something. You're really not sure. Yeah, Droden does have detect magic, unless anyone else wants to cast anything.
I've got no spell slots, so
Droden's got most of his.
We'll
He
see
does.
if I can convert some sorcery points to cast protection against good and evil, but I'll need to get. I assume he's not in touching distance.
No, not unless you want to go in there.
Can we get Droden to cast that before we consider trying to talk to him?
Sure. Rodin will cast his spell, because I think it's 30 feet. He will just turn and shake his head. Does not think there's any obvious magical spell effects upon him.
Shall we get his attention, attempt to talk with him? If you can get him to the bars, then I can try one more thing.
Probably best if he didn't know I was with you. So there's at least one of us is not expecting. If he's only seen us together, I can disguise myself and stay close and ready to intervene if anything goes south.
If that's what you feel is best.
I'll keep a low profile. Stay close.
He's dead tomorrow, so it does not really matter what you do. As long as you don't kill him now.
You see him muttering again to himself.
Hello?
You're talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't seem to. He turns his head slightly at the sound, but doesn't seem to. Doesn't turn to face you, as it were.
I will probably do another hello, and if he doesn't react, just, I don't know, take something in my pack and start hitting the bars loudly. Oi! You!
He turns. You're not playing along with the song. You're disturbing the melody. Stop it.
Not until you come over here and talk to us.
No, one song is enough. I do not. No, please stop it. Stop the music now. I do not wish to hear it.
Are you
Tell us
going to
the
come over
song.
here?
Why? Just stop. Please stop it. Stop it now. Kind of walks over, holding his hands over his ears. You have to stop it. Why are you torturing me? What is it that you want? I hear the singing and it is driving me insane. Please stop it.
You hear the singing.
Yes, do you not hear them?
What are they singing?
They're bringing him here. They're bringing him here. You need to leave. You need to get out. Coming here now.
Bringing.
I don't know who. They've been singing for days. It's driving me mad. I can't listen to it anymore.
Okay.
Close enough for me to poke him.
Yeah?
Protection from evil and good. See if that does anything.
Okay. You cast protection from evil and good. How long does that last? 10 minutes. You just see his face kind of relax and he looks surprised. You've stopped the song. Thank you.
You're
Try-
very
you.
welcome.
I. Oh. Where am I? Why am I here? Why am I in prison?
You were selling your wares at a discounted price, which is against the law.
Would never do such a thing. Never. What? I'm innocent. I didn't do anything. You must let me out. You see,
You must tell us what you can.
I don't remember what happened. I just remember this horrendous chanting, this horrible sound. It was like burning through my brain. It was just all I could hear, and that's all I remember. I don't remember anything else.
Your name?
My name. It's Gregor, I think. Yes. No? He seems really confused. It is Gregor, yes. Why am I, what's happening? Why am I here? What? Oh, I have such a headache.
When did you
You
start hearing the singing?
see
Gregor?
his nose start to bleed. He doesn't seem to notice. I don't know how long it's been there. It's all like, it feels like years, but I don't know. It's horrible. It's a horrible sound.
Describe it.
Like spikes of fire and ice through my mind. I see a great shadow rising from the depths. I don't know what else. That's all I saw. I saw caverns and a circle painted upon stone.
You saw caverns painted on stone, or you saw caverns and you saw some stone
Circle.
paintings.
Yes, caverns with a circle painted upon the ground.
But you don't
What?
recognize this place.
No, I've never seen it. It was like a dream. It was like fire and ice and knives in my head. So painful. How long was I like that? How long have I been in here? What's happening to me? Can you let me out? I'm fine now.
I'm afraid what I did isn't necessarily going to last.
What do you mean? It's not going to come back, is it?
It may do, we'll have to see.
How long will it last? I don't want it to come back. You can't let it come back. Just do something. Cast another spell. Do something. Please?
Spells are not
I'm
infinite.
well.
Tell us everything that you know, everything that you can think of, even if
have.
it seems completely inconsequential.
I have. This is all. This is everything.
Have you
promise.
met with anyone who you previously didn't know, anyone strange?
No. The last thing I remember, I picked up a a shipment from Wers, and I went back to my workshop, and then that's the last thing I remember. And then it was all just that sound, and the burning and the cold and the piercing pain.
So it may be linked to the shipments. So, what did you pick up? Can we have access to your storage where you keep that? Or did you sell it all?
It was just iron. It was just iron. It was nothing.
Iron from where?
From Blingdenstone. From the gnomes' mines. It's where the metal comes from. It was just iron, I assure you.
And you hadn't forged anything from it since all the things that you sold were things that you already had in possession.
If I tell you this, will you make it stop forever? You can't let this happen again. Please, please don't let it.
I will do what I can. Who did you sell the items to?
How long is this going to last? How long before it comes back? I need to know.
We don't know. We've only just found a way to talk to you. They've been trying all day.
I don't know what else to tell you, please. Please, just make it stop.
I think
We don't know yet if it'll come back.
we cannot make any promises, but we are trying.
Well, just kill me then. Kill me, please. I'm going to die anyway. If I'm in here, just kill me.
In our little mind connection to Tinker, will just be like, I have a way of stopping it. I do just want to know if it does come back.
I'll let it come back. Just kill me, please. If it's going to come back, I don't want to go back to that place. I don't want to feel that again.
Who did you sell the items to?
I didn't sell them to anyone. They're in my workshop. It was just iron. And
They're all still...
if you make it stop, I'll tell you what else was there. But you have to promise.
You were arrested because you were selling all of your items at discounted rates. Do you think that the items you're referring to could have been sold in that manner?
Oh no, I wouldn't sell my things for less than the price. That's crazy. No one would do that.
Already have.
There's one way to check. Do you have a key to your wherever you store your wares so that we can go have a look?
They've taken everything off me. I have nothing.
I will look at the captain.
She will nod.
We have his things, yes. We have his things if you think it's important.
You see, as you're talking, you see his face. He kind of starts to grimace and pull a face, and sort of grabs at his head and actually pulls a big chunk of hair out, his white hair. Please make it stop. Just, I'll tell you everything. Just make it stop now. I don't want. It's coming back. I can hear it again. Just make it stop or kill me. Please kill me.
You said you'd tell us everything, and then you said you'd told us everything. Which is it?
Are you at the bars? Who's at the bars of the cage? Just Tink.
I will be. I poked him.
Okay.
No regret.
Give me a. What do you have on you? What weapons do you have on you?
I have a little dagger.
You have a dagger. Okay. Give me a strength check, please. What'd you get?
got a 2.
Okay. He got a 3, which beats your 2. You're stood at the gate. You've cast a spell, and as he starts pulling his hair out, it's really upsetting to see, and he's clearly in a lot of pain. And he grabs you, pulls you against the bars, and he's quite a stocky, sturdy-looking fellow, but even for you, as small as you are, he's like weak as a kitten, but it's enough to pull you, and he takes your dagger and just backs away.
And I will cast Calm Emotions. So I previously used Harness Divine Power, which gives me a spell slot back, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Let me just have a got that. This does not work as well as I wanted it to, as I have just seen when actually reading the description. But I will try and suppress. But he wants it to be suppressed.
Yeah, it suppressed his emotions, but well, it doesn't because he rolled a 20. So the spell doesn't take, and he takes the dagger and just across his own throat and just starts bleeding. You can see Erdde is like was shocked by this.
But that I could deal with better. Let him die. Let him get down to 0, please.
You just see him. He holds it for a second. He still looks quite pained, and then face relaxes, and he almost smiles for a second, and he drops to the floor.
Spare the dying.
Okay.
They're the undying.
Spare the
I don't
undying.
know where to spare the undying. Spare the dying.
Apologies for anyone that's watching. That's kind of disturbing, so apologies. And for those of you in the group as well.
Keep him now. He's not really alive.
What
The execution has happened.
And is that enough that he's been charmed or possessed in some way?
From what he said, what was he even talking about? I don't understand.
Something's taken effect on him. Chanting drove him insane and to act in a way that he would not normally act. He was not in control of his actions. It was not his fault.
He said he got his wares from Wurs, and one of the people that was murdered worked for Wurs, so I would call this a lead.
So you're suggesting I let... he's dead now, but... You're suggesting
Just let us take him.
he's innocent and a victim of a crime instead of a criminal?
Yes.
Although it's difficult to place the exact crime.
I'm going to have a hard time explaining this to the magistrate.
The spell that I cast protects the person I cast it on from the effects of aberrations, celestials, elementals, fey, fiends, and undead, so he's clearly been affected by something other than himself.
Seems there is something afoot in my city.
It may not just be your city, and this is a callback to the gnolls and what they were chanting. It was similar, wasn't it? About rising.
The gnolls were chanting about Yinogu, who is a demon prince.
I feel like we've met someone talk about rising from the depths before.
Demogorgon rose from the depths.
will tell her about that encounter better than I can.
Okay, yeah, I'll show you the picture just as a reminder. It's what you saw in Sloopy Doop.
So you're suggesting this this creature from the abyss is coming to my city and doing this to citizens? You know what
Yes.
you know how that sounds.
Yes, but we were witnesses to this creature's destruction. Well, what it was destroying, not it wasn't destroyed.
So he will be, well, he is dead. I will go write the paperwork. There's no saving him anyway, he's dead in the morning. And if he's affected by a great evil, as you say, then perhaps it is a kindness.
We have the key to his shop or wherever
Yes.
to take a look.
Yes, of course. You will know, you will be able to find the shop because it is marked with the symbol of the stone guard, which means it is off limits, but you will be able to enter with your badges.
And do you know anything of this Wur's character?
Wur's Salt Baron is a importer. He has a building on the docks, his small warehouse. I mean, investigations have not uncovered any criminality with him. We've done many ad hoc searches on his premises. We've not found any contraband. We've not found any signs of illegality.
Is he a
But
Durigar or
he
Malfoy?
is, yes. He is.
Malice, Rain, what do you think we should do next?
So can we take this body?
Why?
Reasons?
Don't think that is allowed.
Why not?
Because all criminals that are executed are burned.
But he's not a criminal. And he's not been executed. It's just a dead body.
He may not have been in full control of himself, but he still committed the crime. Do not believe the magistrates will pardon him, especially as he is now dead.
Executed, and so therefore we should find out more about what has caused the death of a
Well, he was.
prisoner under the care of the city guard.
It was her knife.
No, but
She didn't. We need to know more about what caused this. You could use the body to do that.
we need to perform an autopsy.
Do you propose to do this?
I have my ways.
You're asking a lot of me.
There was something in his brain, clearly.
If you want to do the autopsy, you do it here, in the cell.
Well, we can't do it right now. And
You
we
have
must
to.
preserve the body.
He will be cremated in the morning, as per code.
But his death does not follow the circumstances in which the code should be enacted.
I cannot. You must understand, I am already taking a risk by working with you people, and now you're asking me to go against procedure.
Sometimes
unfortunately,
when
I'm not able to do anything more of much use tonight. I'll have to act now, then it's a lost cause, and we should just let him be cremated. But we will be
If you
losing so much information.
You can do an autopsy this evening, but he must be returned before 8 a.m. in the morning.
Well, we'll just end up getting ourselves in more trouble. I'll abandon it.
we come back first thing in the morning, just before the burning.
No, he will be burned at 10. So you have until 10.
Okay, I'll take that. What time is it now?
It's probably about 9:30 in the evening.
We need to go to bed soon.
I've only got to get 4 hours in. I'm good.
Okay. Are we done?
Yes, we'll be back in the morning.
Well, wear your badges outwardly on your clothing, and you can see yourself out. I will deal with this mess. Do you want your dagger back?
Oh, yes. You.
Okay. She'll open the gate, step in, retrieve it, and hold it out, covered in blood.
Depending on how wide the bars are, could I just drift in after her through them?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can. She doesn't look amused, or her face is quite passive. She doesn't give anything away.
Good to know.
She hands you the dagger.
I will see you in the morning.
She's grey skinned anyway, but she looks like she's gone a little bit paler with what's occurred. You hear her shout some guards who come down, and they begin moving him and cleaning up the cell.
Should we take a look at his shop before we go to bed?
It would be an idea, yes.
Off to Greggle's shop. Oh,
Okay. Okay. You wander through the market on the way back to the tavern. It doesn't take you very long to find the one cellar door with a huge, basically a banner stuck in the door, which has the skull with the crossed axes. There's a keyhole in it. And you have the key. You stick the key in.
We don't do enough Foley on this show.
No, we
I'll
don't.
just check to make sure that there's nothing going on with the door. We're not gonna. I know we're using the key, but just in case.
Well, Tinker's put the key in and turned it, and you hear a click,
God.
and then a tick, tick, a number of clicks.
That's not the usual sound doors make.
It is like a cellar door with a ring on. So you've turned the key. There was a clunk, and then a number of clicks.
Rain, is it usual for a shop door to have a number of locks?
I would presume yes, but what's the answer, Matt?
Well, that doesn't sound like a normal lock, that's for sure. You're pretty certain that that's there's something else going on there. I mean, you can investigate if you want to figure out what.
No, it's not normal, but I'm an expert with these tools, so I can have a look. Yeah,
Cool.
can I,
Right.
based on my knowledge of just breaking through locks and stuff, can I have a look?
Yeah, so roll an investigation check for me, and then roll your thieves' tools as well. I don't think they're in your inventory. You
I'm
put them
doing
in.
guidance, that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, your thieves' tools should be in your inventory as well. Okay, investigation. Yeah, you look. You look around the edge, where the lock is, and you can see a number of pins. Most people wouldn't spot them, but there does seem to be some kind of pins, which as you unlock it, they've extended out into the door.
Right.
You think there's some kind of trigger for something, but you're not really sure. As you start working on it with your thieves' tools, you use a number of shims and you kind of work them in to block off these little pins one by one. You work your way around. You think that it shouldn't trigger now.
Okay. I'll try and look at them. Or just get them.
You're just gonna lift it.
Well, I'll look at everybody else, see anything.
Okay.
A window.
No, it's just like a iron reinforced wooden style door. You watch Rain as he sort of pushes these little spaces down around the door. You can see as very, very delicately she's pushing back these little pins. There's about 8 of them.
I think it's safe.
Okay, and I will fly backwards 5 feet.
Bracing for impact, I will. Oh, actually, would be too heavy to do with mage hand.
I'll let you do it with a mage hand. Yeah.
I'll call it 10 feet.
Yeah, I'll go 30 feet away from you. Best you'll see that. I'll pull out my pistol, and then out of the edge you're gonna see a metallic thing expanding that it opens up into a hand. And that will open there. Okay.
The door opens. Nothing happens. Little pieces that you've put in place, you can see around the edge are holding the pins in.
Okay.
And we see what it would have set off.
Yeah, Rain, if you have a look, Rain, what you can see in the bottom of the door is effectively 4 bottles of a orangey red liquid, with each pin is attached to a little timer, which after probably about 20 seconds would have pierced the bottles and released whatever the liquid was.
Right.
This is interesting. Can we attempt to take those bottles, like detach them from the system that was in place?
Yeah, they would be relatively. Hello, Jamie. Yeah, they're relatively easy. Rain can take the bottles out.
Yeah.
That's 2. But yeah, it's 4 bottles of a orangey red liquid.
I'll fly inside.
Yeah. Yeah, we think so.
Okay, you drop down the stairs. It just looks like it's quite tidy, very ordered. There is a number of furnaces in here, anvils, blacksmith tools, crates with the lids off, which seem to have ingots of various metals in there. Nothing that looks particularly precious, but probably iron and other things. Nothing immediately looks out of place.
So he said that it was a shipment of iron that he had last received, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, is that still somewhere in the room?
There does seem to be a crate with the lid off that looks like it's got iron ingots inside.
I'm concerned. I want to take a closer look, but I don't want voices singing inside my head.
Is anything... Can I just generally looking around, does anything stand out or look out of place?
You can roll a perception.
I am rolling so shit again.
No, it just looks like a workshop. There's nothing weird or that stands out as unusual, really.
Drodin, do you have any more detect magic available?
I don't know if I ever had detect magic. I have to find my spell book. Hold on, my brain isn't working very well at the moment.
Don't worry, we had no sound for the first hour again.
I did see, but my brain is very frazzled. Do I even have detect? I do have detect magic. Yes, I will cast detect magic then.
Okay.
I don't even have everything open yet, so give me a second.
Okay.
Oh, my thing's loading. Well, yeah, I'll use detect magic. Take a walk around the little workshop area,
Okay.
seeing as I have. Jordan has suddenly snapped back into reality.
Okay. As you wander around with detect magic, yeah, you do get a ping off the crate full of metal. Seems to be deep inside it, though. Whatever it is.
There's something in this crate of ingots. Or scrap, I don't know what kind of metal it is.
Detect magic tells you the skull, doesn't it?
Does, yes.
So it kind of pings up as one skull, and then it flicks and it's another, and then it's another, and then it's another, and it just never stands still. You think, oh, it's necromantic. Oh no, it's not. It's abjuration. No, and it just keeps changing. It's just pure chaos, and there's no pattern to it either. It's just constantly fluctuating. It seems to be all magic and no magic all at the same time.
Well, Jordan's going to be rifling through that box to dig out whatever that magic thing is. Also, yes,
Oh,
Hazel.
it made the last owner go mad.
Sorry, I'm just very taken by Jim's supper.
Yeah,
It's a very
I was
straight line
wearing.
of it.
I wear a bandana and a headdress at Empire at my LARP, so this bit is covered, but this whole upper part where it looks like I've had a lobotomy was unprotected.
Nice.
Which is going to be fun to explain at work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a giant warehouse. I'm not wearing a hat and a fucking boiling
It's
metal
the
casket.
top.
It's just the top.
Brilliant. I went to a LARP once, and someone I know had like Celtic knotwork all painted on their face, and it was like the hottest day of the year. So you can imagine they were like, "I've got to go back to the office tomorrow," and they had this white Celtic knot on their face, on their cheek. And I was like, "That's going to be fun explaining that to everyone at work." So
Because I burn at like the slightest bit of sunlight, so as a alternative gothy teenager. Many a fishnet sunburn, many a fishnet sunburn, and loads of like bag strap sunburns. Which like I was out on a day when it had snowed, and I got sunburn.
That's something if you got sunburn in the snow.
It takes skill.
I've been sunburned in the snow. It's
Yeah.
confusing as fuck.
It's very reflective. It's like being in water. It like
It
reflects
bounces.
it.
So you get sunburn in different directions.
It's even at least.
Ah, well, welcome back, Jim.
Thank you.
What have you missed? A lot.
Well, don't fill me in on what I've missed. Let's just carry on with what we're
Yeah.
doing.
And the sound wasn't on for the first hour and a bit, so sorry about that.
Oh,
Yeah, you start
It's
lifting out
how good rock
iron ingots and lifting them out one by one by one by one, and in the bottom there's a gap where there's no iron ingots, and you can see this weird metallic looking. It looks like a piece of stone that's been fractured, but it's metallic in appearance. It's quite odd looking. And this is what's giving you this magical energy.
I found this a strange item. It can't really seem to tell or decide what kind of school it belongs to. But maybe when we get somewhere, I can take some time and try and figure out what it is and identify it.
Can we find like a bag or something so that we don't have to directly touch it? Put it in?
Sure. Yeah, you can find a bit of material, a bit of cloth,
I think
or a blacksmith's glove.
Odin is probably holding this with a hand.
Oh,
I
okay.
shout at you to not touch it.
I did not hear that bit.
I said as you went, I'll go in and have a look. The last guy that touched it went mad, and that touched it. The last guy that was here went mad, so don't touch it.
Oh.
I like the idea that you're holding it and you're like, right, so if we just find a bit of cloth so that we don't have to touch it, and Dredin's like, oh.
Yeah, if we can find a glove or a cloth or a bag. Ah!
Let us know if you hear singing.
Okay, I will.
You can feel a slight, it's like it's humming, it's like a vibration, like a frequency. You can't hear anything, but you can feel that this thing is buzzing with energy.
Okay. Is there anything else that we're looking for in here?
Pretty much what we were hoping to find.
Oh, well, okay. Where are we taking it now?
Or wherever we go next, obviously. And we just need to find out how it could have affected that poor fellow, whose name we did not actually get, as far as I remember.
Gregil.
Gregor? No, there we go. Yeah,
Gregor.
Gregor! So yes, we need to find out how it might have affected him, what effect it could have, so that we can prove his innocence for tomorrow. So we could save a life.
Saving lives is good.
How long does spare the dying work for?
It's not got a. You touch a living creature that has 0 hit points. The creature becomes stable. This spell has no effect on undead or construct.
Okay, so he's stable. He's not died
Yeah,
then.
it's just-
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, good call. Yeah, he's still alive.
So they would have been able to tell that, and we didn't have that.
Yeah, he wasn't bleeding. Yeah. I mean, they probably didn't notice till they started moving him that he was still alive, but because they wouldn't have known what spell Malice cast. Okay, where next?
I need to sleep.
Let's sleep. We need to be there early in the morning to show this as evidence that they don't burn burn him.
Yeah. Okay. What do you want me to do with the bottles? Shall I put those in Rain's inventory? Because I'll let Rain work out what they are overnight.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
So I will put those in your bag.
I'm quite well rested, so I'll spend a good part of the night just translating everything.
Okay. Okay. It should be in. It should be under consumables. I would just change the quantity. You should be able to see it now. Should be under consumables. But yeah, effectively the trap would have released, would have time delayed, released that what was in there down the stairs after you'd have gone down.
Cool. I'll keep it.
Yeah.
Is there any way I could possibly we'll start working on them. There's a DC 10 Dex check to extinguish these flames. Is there any way to try to make them more intense, or like experiment with them, make them intense?
Yeah, I'll let you do it. Yeah, you can have a tinker with them tonight if you like.
Yeah. So try to basically make the liquid a bit more potent, so it's more difficult to extinguish the flame afterwards.
Yeah, sure. Okay. We'll do that. We'll do that when you do a long rest, but yeah, that's no problem. I'll figure out what that looks like. Where would you like to go next? Go to sleeps. Okay, you're heading back to the tavern.
Yes, we've paid for those rooms. We're going to use them.
Okay, fair play. Yeah, you head back to the tavern.
Oh, could we stop at the ship on the way back and ask them to keep watch on activities in the local area?
Yeah. Yeah, Eldith will meet you at the boat, and aye, that's no problem. Everyone seems in good spirits. The goblins, what was it he said? When I said you were going to pay them, he said, you're taking the piss. I think he thought I was winding him up, but hopefully I've convinced him that his people are going to get paid for their work, and that they are a member of the crew of this boat, whatever it's called. Sloopy Doop or something, I think you called it. I don't
Changed it to Droden, help me out.
That's a weird name for a boat.
I didn't
Very
know
long.
we changed it.
We had a conversation where I was like, don't you name boats after women? And then I forgot.
Oh, you wanted to name it. You wanted to name it the Yazva.
That's it.
I didn't give any approval or refusal to that. I believe we got interrupted halfway through. Fine, it's the Yazva now.
Okay, the Yazva. Okay.
Would it be worth us maybe paying them a little bit up front just to garner good favour? Not much. We can't afford too much at the moment, but
Silver each?
I think that would be fair.
15 silver.
Just in case they need to buy anything like particular or anything beforehand.
Okay, you drop them some coins to show that you're genuine. Head back to the inn. You can have a long rest if you like. Are you putting any watches on, or are you just going to sleep?
Miles is just going to sleep, but she only needs the 4 hours, so she could do a later watch.
Drodin is pretty fine, so he can do the first 4 hours and then take a chance. And I'm only going to take a chance because if I don't, I will get exhaustion.
Okay. Okay. Just roll perception for me then. How are you doing a watch? Are you just in the room or are you?
Yeah, I'll just.
Also, when Jim says take a trance, am I the only one who gets ABBA in my head?
Take
Yes.
a trance on me.
Well, that sounds like an innuendo. Oh, there we go. I was about to say my game still hasn't loaded. Ba-ba-ba-ba. I also thought it was the doll that was in that crate as well. I just saw
What you
someone had posted that. 14. I don't know. Ah, there we go.
Yeah, you don't trust crates anymore. Yeah, it's very, very quiet. It's actually crazily quiet. When you're sat in the room, there is just no sound. You hear it early in the night. You hear a bit of the sound of, pots being washed and the bar being cleared up below. But the city is utterly silent.
I would
At
like to
night.
identify that stone.
Okay, roll identify then.
I don't think we roll anything. I just think
Well-
I spend 11 minutes and you tell me what it does.
Okay. You spend the time. You try and attune to it. But
It's
this
not a tuning.
is-
It's
No,
just
no. Well,
figuring
you
it out.
try and tune into what it does and what it is. But you don't. You're none the wiser. Whatever this is, it is ancient. It is old, and it is a piece of something bigger. The magic in it is just constantly fluctuating, and you can only surmise that whatever this piece is from is incredibly powerful. And it's sort of a level of power that you've never experienced, that you can't really fathom. So although you cast identify and you spend the time, you come out of it with more questions than answers. It's like, what is this piece from? What did it do? Who made it? Because whatever it is almost undoubtedly forgotten magic from an age before this one.
He'll just tuck that away in his little pouch somewhere, so that he can think on that later, and then he'll give Malice a little nudge. So presumably we're doing this in 2 4-hour shifts.
Yeah.
I
That's
guess
what
they're
I'm thinking.
letting everyone else sleep.
Yeah.
Well, except Rain will probably be up for a bit. Tinkering.
Let me just
Try not to make noise,
roll.
but you will.
Okay, yeah. Did you do anything, Malice? Just perception, unless you're doing anything. And Nick, if you're staying up for a bit to have a look at those vials, if you can roll with your Tinker's tools, if they're in your inventory. I might have to add them if they're not.
If you can have a look, if you do it at the beginning of the night, can I help?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know that I have them, but it basically, well, that would be a.
Thieves' tools would be the same, would it? Oh, there you go. I've put them in your inventory now.
So one of us.
Well, it depends, because Tinker's tool, sensitive tool, it can be any kind of ability score depending on what I'm doing, and then proficiency.
Okay.
Depends on what you feel like I'm using more.
Okay. It would. I don't know what it would be actually. I'm just looking at all the things. I don't really know. What would an alchemist roll of the GMs?
Probably,
If it's got a magical effect, Arcana. If it's made, if you're implying it's made from things.
It is a kind of magical effect, but it's a chemical concoction. So yeah,
But-
you can roll Arcana if you like.
Roll medicine.
Yeah, or medicine. I probably would say Arcana.
Yeah, because that would be the same. Can you see it?
Yeah, it's like an intelligence proficient, isn't it? Which makes sense.
Guidance. This is it.
Okay. Yeah, you quickly identify that this is some sort of alchemical fire, which if that trap had have gone off would have probably been triggered after you got to the bottom, and then you would have all been coated in this fire, which is quite hard to extinguish. Well, it's not hard to extinguish, but it just continues to burn. It will keep burning. That is a very good roll. So you manage to add some chemicals from your own bag, which you think should make it a lot harder to extinguish.
Okay.
And potentially she'll change it. She'll change it in your.
Oh, I was in there ready to do that. Thank you.
I've done it. So yeah. You although you don't think it would have killed any of you, you're quite glad that it didn't pour all over you.
It's like the contraband that was found with one of the murdered bodies, and I've worked out what Tank's doing overnight. She's going to get some parchment and some string and make a board.
Joining up all of the info dump that was tonight. So unless there's anything else, long rest. Should probably.
Sell stuff.
Okay. The morning comes. Well, you think. Your body tells you it's the morning, but it looks exactly the same as it did when you went to bed. You can get up and have some breakfast, and the city is yours.
What time is it? How long have we got before he's dead?
It's probably about 6:30 in the morning, based on when you went to
Right.
bed.
So I would want some freshening. Pardon?
How can you take away the singing?
Oh, I can't. I thought I could. I could not.
Never mind. Poor man.
So we can just let him die, or we can try and prove that he is innocent and just leave him as he is, until we can solve it. But obviously, if they burn him, there's nothing we can do at any point. Seems a bit of a waste of a body, does it not?
Wasted life if there's still some living in it.
I suppose so.
Let's present the evidence to the captain and...
But what exactly do we have evidence-wise? Droden, can you tell us any more about what you found?
No, is the short answer.
Well, we have some unknown substance hidden in a crate that was delivered by Wers, and a door that was trapped with a substance that has been linked to one of the previous murders, which...
But this is Gregor's workshop, is it not? So this seems just only more incriminating.
Whatever it is, it's a thing that we found. It was an artifact that was incredibly old, with magic that I can't even begin to comprehend. I don't know how he found it or where he found it from. Well, it certainly isn't something that a blacksmith would have.
It's certainly difficult to make a judgment. It could go either way. It could be incriminating, or it could give space to investigate worse and see if they'll hold off cremating, burning him until we can provide more concrete evidence that he isn't the actual person committing a crime here.
Speaking so quietly, I'm attempting to lip read. We can
Sorry.
do our best to not get him burnt.
It could go either way.
We might make things many, many times worse. We might make it better. We don't really know. But do we try?
Then we know we've tried. It's not our justice system. That's all.
Definitely.
Maybe I could examine the body anyway, just for any other signs of interference.
Assuming he's not awake yet. Or
Who?
woke up in the night.
Who?
Gregor.
Well, I mean, medicine-wise, he might have. Where the dying does stabilise you, so usually within about 4 hours, people wake up. So he probably has woken up.
I assume that's food, but my brain first went to tinfoil hat.
No, it's a burrito, but it's bigger than I have.
Oh, you missed all the food, but Jim. In fact,
Oh,
the
it
stream
was
missed all the food because of the sound issues again.
Oh, the food was so good.
What
Me and
is
Billy
it?
were like all about the food. We had there was salt baked, seaweed wrapped, dark lake bass. Was it sea bass? Dark lake bass. What was the wrap that was available?
Lizard wraps, yeah.
Lizard wraps. Oh,
With fire lichen,
such
yeah.
complex and amazing flavour profiles. It was brilliant.
Fuck off.
The feedback that I got that weekend, so you know, there will be food in all cities now. It'd be easier if you were on the surface because I know what surface food is like.
Well, that's not
It's
as
very hard.
entertaining, though.
When all you've got to work with is mushrooms, it gets really difficult. Okay, you have a little breakfast, some kind of eggs. What would you like to do?
Go save or damn Gregor.
Okay.
On the way, depending on how long it's going to take and if it's out of the way, can we go to the market and pick up Stool's armor, please?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You so you have some breakfast. It is just some basic eggs with some kind of cheese. It's best not to think about what the milk's from. And you eat. Yeah, you eat and head out. The market is quiet, but starting to set up. You can see the hatches opening and traders starting to open their stalls. And then you hear something and sorry, go.
No, go. That
You
sounded
hear-
like something much more important.
You hear something in the distance. It's like this slow, ponderous, rhythmic thud, and then thud, and then thud, and then thud, and then
We're gonna see
hear
the dragon.
you hear the sound of roaring flame, and indeed, then again you hear thud, thud, thud. This ponderous, slow, and then you hear this roar of flames, and all around you there's vents in the floor that you've kind of noticed but not really thought much about, and suddenly flame just shoots up all around you from all of these vents and then dies back down, and all of the dwarves just carry on as if nothing has happened. It's quite normal for them. And you wonder, yeah, is this the dragon? Is this what they talk about? And then two dwarves come into view. They're wearing chainmail and long pale blue robes over the top of that chainmail. Around their necks is this sort of unremarkable metal. It's not jewelry for decoration purposes. You can see this crude metal symbol of two hands with the palms up, and in them is a flame. And then you see what they're escorting. And it's just this huge reptilian behemoth, full adult red dragon, slowly following them down the street. No one seems to take any notice. Its head is easily 9-10 feet off the ground. It's got two huge ivory horns jutting from the back of its head, and along the line of its chin and neck, you see lots more of these tiny ivory horns. It's got to be 35 feet from its nose to its tail. It is big. It is a big creature, and as it turns the corner, you see its huge lizard-like yellow eye just flick onto you all. You see it focus, the pupil focus, and it seems to smirk and look at you with this amused expression. Lifts its wings, gives a flap. You feel the air move. Its wingspan again must easily be 50 feet. It is absolutely ginormous. And as it flaps its wings, it puts its mouth to this circular hole, big circular hole. You see the flame engulf and just fly out of all of these grates all around you. It is like fountains of fire everywhere. And then it wanders on, and two more of these Durgar in the blue robes follow it as it ponderously plods down the street, periodically lighting the furnaces with its breath.
I assume if you look around, Tink isn't there because the wings blew her 30 feet in whatever direction.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they'll find you in like a box of a pile of crates or something.
Holy shit!
You realise then, as you're stood there, that it is heading in the direction of Stone Guard headquarters.
Did that dragon just smirk at us? The dragon smirk?
Very intelligent.
Why would it smirk?
Well, who knows? Newcomers.
I smile when I see my dinner.
That's maybe a tiny
Is
bit
that a real
consistent.
thing?
There's a bit of us in all our characters.
So you managed to collect Stool's armour on the way past. Still don't know how that fits.
It goes over him. He's got a little
It's a
gap for his
throw.
face, and he looks like a very ornate footstool.
Nice.
Imagine like the animated furniture from Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, but a mushroom.
Yeah.
I shall put some
Very
armour on him.
snazzy.
And as you turn the corner, you begin to approach Overland Hold. You can see a number of Dwergar chained to metallic posts, which you realise are positioned above some of these metal grates. And the dragon is making his way towards them.
Ellie.
And we can leave it there. That's okay.
Yeah?
Not that you can discuss anything you want to discuss, but
I think the dragon is running the cult, or the group, or the whatever. I think the dragon is gonna hold a coup.
Maybe the dragon knows I have that thing.
I can sense it. Yes.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Dragon work.
You'd be like, oh,
Because I don't trust the
fucks.
dragon guards already, so think it might be the dragon. Instead, the dragon's smart. Why am I doing so much pointing? I do apologise. I don't mean to be threatening in my ideas. I'll put my hands down.
I like a mystery.
Sorry, I'm very distracted by the fact the straightest line I've ever managed to produce is a sunburn on my own face.
Well done.
About you.
Well done. Well done. Don't forget to take your long rests.
I think I have.
Yeah, well done. Well done, everyone. I thought, apologies to the stream for the missing sound. I'll have to cut that out. I don't know why this keeps happening. It keeps kicking me out of Discord on my streaming PC for some reason. But yeah, you asked a lot of good questions and did a lot of delving, and I didn't get you to set you on fire with that trapdoor, so you know you did. You all worked very well, and yeah, you asked questions I didn't think of, but that were very good questions. So yeah, well done, well done. There's a lot more, obviously, to learn, but you know you've got quite a few theories so far, and I'm interested to hear them. And we'll see.
Dragon.
Oh, there's so much in Grackstugh. The first time I ran this, I really struggled with just how much is going on, but yeah, it was a bit easier the second time round. But yeah, it was really interesting to see you all like poking different things and trying to figure out what's linked, and yeah, it was good.
I love Grackstugh as a location.
It's really, yeah. Yeah, it's a very interesting. It does feel like it kind of feels like civilization. I think my other group were like, it feels like we're in a city and a civilization again, but it's so different to where we're from. It's quite alien in a way, and it feels very different.
It's got its own like kind of character, and it's memorable.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like how you're all as well. You're all kind of thinking about you don't want to get caught out by the laws. You've realised how harsh they are, so you want to help, but you're like, we need to be careful how we help. And yeah, you've got in the right mindset.
You don't need to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like
exactly.
helping the right side, but this side has 1,000 gold.
Money talks.
It's the only way I found to run a city. Is just you can't make it too safe, because obviously players have a lot of money and resources. Safe city, then they can just do whatever. There's no way to challenge them. But if you place those restraints, then suddenly it's still a city, but it's a tense situation. And drives the game forward. So yeah, it's nice to know that we're threatened with doing the wrong thing at any given point.
Yeah, exactly. And even that situation with the poor guy in the cell, and that has put Erdde in a difficult situation, because she's got to explain how that person got a knife, and yeah, so it's got a nice feel to it. It feels dangerous, but it doesn't feel like unreasonably. It's not like you're going to be murdered in the street for just being from somewhere else, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not really sure what the rules are here.
Yeah, the consequences are ever present.
I mean, it's easy when you read Out of the Abyss. It's easy to go, the Duergar are evil, because they were in the old rules. They were evil, weren't they? But I think evil and good is a bit too simplistic sometimes, and I think I see it more as they're obsessed with being productive, and their rules. They're like, rules are so important to them that the punishment is really harsh for breaking the rules. But if you stick with the rules, then they're fine. So yeah, I don't see them as evil. I just see them as a little bit too enthusiastic about rules.
Okay, guys, I'm going to get going so I can actually eat some food.
No worries.
And I will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I shall stop the stream. Thanks for anyone that's watching. Apologies for the sound issues again. I will do some investigations before the next stream and figure out what's going on with that and stop it.